It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we'll see who rules the skies in tonight's battle. It's the Baltimore Ravens and the Atlanta Falcons under the lights on Thursday night.
First opened in 2017, there's a look at the beautiful state-of-the-art Mercedes-Benz Stadium here in Atlanta, GA. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you from our broadcast perch. And Charles, as we get this thing started, what are you going to be keeping your eye on?
Special teams. Field position is always a big determiner in a ball game. Who sets their offense up for success the best, that team will win the game.
The veteran punter Bradley Pinion has this one teed up, and we are underway from Atlanta. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Ravens offense going to work, and as usual, it's Lamar Jackson, the former MVP of the league, at the helm.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, he's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Just like that, it's a gain of 12 and a first down on their first play. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
In motion, Aguilar. Shifts past him at the 45. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. Zero hesitation that time. That was get ball, throw ball.
Yeah, turn into a smoke route. If you see the coverage off the receiver, doesn't matter whether you call it a run or not. Just take the ball, get it out to him.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and 3. Jackson options out left. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so he didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
They go play action with Jackson. This will go to Henry out wide. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion. 3rd and 4, he did just enough, and I mean just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
A first down carry for Henry. He's got it to the 43 here. Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. From the 43, here's 2nd down and 7. Again, it's Henry. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. They'll bring a tight end in motion left. Now it's Jackson. Complete to Likely. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down at will.
A nice gain there to his trusty tight end, and now it's got them thinking opening drive touchdown here as they get into the red zone.
And in most cases with your tight end, you feel like you've got a mismatch no matter who's covering him. Is it a small cornerback? Is it a linebacker who may not run as well? In any event, whatever you see, you think that tight end can win that battle.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
And that's something you have to get ready for defensively, because in today's NFL, teams will use their wide receivers on jet sweeps, end arounds. They'll move them back in the backfield and make them running backs. Partner, this was much more of a tap pass, but effective nonetheless.
And I think both guys love it. If you're a quarterback, it's an easy completion. If you're a wide receiver, you get the easy reception and also a chance to try to make a play with your feet.
Yeah, he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. So play number 10 now coming. It's been a long opening drive, but this is 3rd down. Now it's Jackson.
He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield.
Touchdown! Derrick Henry. A 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Ravens are on the board first here this afternoon.
On paper coming in, you'd say that these guys are the better team by far, and they sort of showed their superiority there on the opening drive.
Yeah, they came in the heavy favorite in this game, and even though they're on the road, they just wiped it away, didn't they? They've just said to everyone, we're the better team. We just showed it to you on this opening drive, and we expect to do it all game long.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. A 10-play drive that time.
And it was finished off on the touchdown reception by Derrick Henry.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
So here the Falcons now as they get set for their opening possession.
They'll be led out by their quarterback, the rookie from the University of Washington.
For every rookie prospect, there are always nerves involved in this moment. Running your team out to start a game. But there's a reason they brought him in. We're willing to make him their starter today. They believe he can overcome those nerves and lead his team to a victory. We saw him do it at the collegiate level and really make himself into a leader and someone you can envision doing the exact same thing here in the NFL.
A run for the first time with Bijan Robinson.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a 1st down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Back to Robinson now on 1st down.
Able to avoid him at the 40.
Taken down at the 42.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
2nd down at 6 now from the 42. Here's Penix. And complete to Drake London.
That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
Now Penix. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
Dafe Owe showing off the pass rush skills. Defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
Looking to throw, Penix. That's complete to the tight end, Werner.
They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
And looking to throw, Penix. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Give the rookie another one on this opening drive and a first down with it. A nice start, Charles, for the first-year passer. He's come out, made a few plays, nice plays to begin this contest.
He certainly has, and if he finishes off this drive with a touchdown pass, I vote we don't call him rookie anymore. We'll move him right to veteran and continue from there.
Back to the ground with Robinson.
Down to the 25. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
They work now on 2nd and 9. Penix working out of the gun here. That's complete to Mooney.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
It's safe to say the passing game has found a rhythm. He's now 4 of 4, but might need to be 5 of 5 to keep this drive going here as they face a 3rd down.
And maybe perhaps you show a running play, right? Maybe a little play action here to go ahead and let him throw the ball downfield. I wouldn't get away from him flinging it because 4 for 4 already. I think he's got a good chance of picking this one up here on 3rd down.
And he is going to have a Falcons first down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of a football.
If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
To the air, Penix.
And it's caught, and he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta.
Darnell Mooney.
A 9-yard touchdown grab.
And the Falcons are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own.
Walking into the stadium, we saw a ton of people donning the jerseys of this rookie quarterback, so you know they love that opening drive, and he throws a touchdown pass.
He gave a little bit of confirmation about what they had hoped, right? Because they thought they had a quarterback. They're thinking they have a quarterback. You do this, they believe they've got a quarterback. Look up, elbowing each other up in the stands. That's our guy.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So that drive, 12 plays in length.
And finishing it all off was Darnell Mooney with a touchdown reception.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. A solid return. Pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down.
It's rare that a man his size can at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about tiny? You're talking about the little guy back
Tiny.
there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Holding offense.
Brutal. So take away the long touchdown.
It's a cruel game sometimes, partner.
Still second down.
Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20.
Jackson, options out left.
And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield.
Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
Well, when this play was called, I don't believe the offense saw it going quite the way that it did. Read option to the left, and the defense was more than prepared and blew it up in a big way on that play.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Facing 4th down, Baltimore will punt. Jordan Stout out there. Avery Williams deep for Atlanta.
And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it will be Falcon football.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson.
And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. 8 yards on the carry there, and it'll wind up being the final play of this first quarter.
7-7, our score after 1. Back now in Atlanta, second quarter action. The Falcons with the football. 2 yards still to go. 3rd down now. As they've got it as we resume action. Robinson will try to pick it up.
And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
They'll throw with Penix. Into the hands of London.
And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49, a gain of just 2.
When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
This is 2nd and 8.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
Targeting Pitts on the out route, and he's got it complete.
And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
So just 3 yards on the completion there, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Those are the ones you dream of as defenders. I think if he gets eyes on the ball a little bit earlier, he might come away with it. Instead, it's going to wind up as just an incomplete pass.
The Falcons on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 7.
Throwing again, Penix. Looking there for Pitts, but intercepted.
Picked off by Marlon Humphrey.
Down the left sideline.
And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. They were in the dime. They had 6 defensive backs there, so go ahead and throw it. He threw it, and it hurt him.
It's almost thrown into a blanket of coverage, isn't it? You talk about the best defenders you have are the defensive backs. 6 of them on the field. You're almost asking for trouble, and that's exactly what they ran into. Ended up throwing a pick 6.
Yeah, 6 defenders and 6 points. Tucker now for the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Falcons offense set to go. And remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, I guess that answers the question whether or not they want him throwing it again right away after throwing the pick 6 on the previous drive.
Yeah, not something conservative or underneath. Pretty big shot right there.
Get him right back in the saddle and say, go ahead and sling it, big guy.
2nd and 10. Operating from the gun, Penix.
Escaping the pressure. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Nnamdi Madubuike. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Well, it was second and long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Third and 19.
They'll set up to throw.
That's to the sideline and incomplete.
And that's a lesson learned from the previous drive. Last time he forced one, and it turned into a pick six. Here, he knows better, and he just throws that one away.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away.
Back deep is Steven Sims.
Taken from just outside the 30. Good coverage there. An even 50-yard punt leads to a return of 5. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
From the 43, it's 2nd and 3.
The tight end in motion right. Jackson now.
A short one there, caught by Likely.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to, pick up a first down.
Off the option, here's Henry.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss.
Off the option, here's Henry.
And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. From midfield now, here's Jackson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
With nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job, CD. Got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it's 2nd down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Now 2nd and 5.
Play action. It's Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews.
And Andrews going to have a Ravens first down as he'll be brought down at the 27.
They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Jackson.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted.
Picked off by Justin Simmons.
And the Falcons force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10.
When you're in man coverage, you have help over the top. You become a much more confident defender. Trail the receiver and know that someone over the top can make a play, and that's exactly what happened here. The free safety coming up with the interception.
Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field.
As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
From the shotgun, it's Penix. Throw left side, there's London.
And he gets up near the 25 to about the 24 before going out of bounds. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
I tell you what, when you're down on the scoreboard, you've got to look to your stars, and that's what they do here to start the drive. I wouldn't be surprised if they looked his way a few more times in short order. That one, well designed, and it's a quick first down.
And he'll find McLeod on the right side complete. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that will bring up second down. Back to throw.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
The Falcons on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
They'll try to throw again. Here's Penix.
Get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
On third down, he obviously wants to throw the football, but there's nowhere to go with it, so he takes off and goes. And now does he get to the first down marker? He blows right past it and picks up big yardage. Partner, that's a great bit of improvisation.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. He'll drop to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by McLeod. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
Short throw caught by Pitts.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7.
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4. Here's Penix. Throws to his man on the out route. It's complete. That's Robinson.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
Penix to the air once more. And caught by London.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Now they'll have it first and goal following that gain of 17.
Kind of a dangerous throw there. He's off balance when he gets rid of it. But this is all about a quarterback knowing what he can get away with. And that time, it turns into a completion and a healthy gain as well.
A chance now to get even before the break as they come up first and goal.
Now Penix.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown.
Michael Penix.
An 8-yard touchdown run.
And the Falcons go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points.
And this is a balancing act for a head coach with a rookie quarterback. You've got to walk a line with him. You don't want him getting happy feet, but you also don't want to rein in what worked for him in college. And here, he pulls it down, takes it himself, and takes it into the end zone.
Coup for the extra point.
And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
And able to get this out to the 25.
The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure. I don't think you sit on anything here. Here's your opportunity. Push it downfield. As you mentioned, it's a tie game. So minus a disaster on your part, you've got that in your back pocket. Go ahead and try and get some points and feel great going into the half.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw.
Complete to Likely.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Here's Jackson to throw. A short throw caught by Andrews.
And Andrews going to have a Ravens first down as the tackle going to be made up at the 37.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They go play action now. Jackson. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Second down and 8.
Now it's Jackson. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1.
This now a 3rd and 4.
Play action. Now Jackson.
To the sideline and incomplete.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
Fourth down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
So we've hit halftime all even at 14 apiece. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. They're all even to this point. This has the feeling of a game that could go right down to the wire. One mistake or one big play could turn out to be the difference.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far.
And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33.
So we get set to start this third quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now.
It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic. No need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
They'll throw with Penix. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really.
Here's 2nd and 10. To the air, Penix. Here's a screen for Robinson.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Sets up the screen to Robinson. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. A short throw caught by Andrews. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations. But a guy of his size, Can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Now it's Jackson. Completes it to Aguilar. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. A throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try to pick up another first down.
Now a 2nd and 10.
A toss right to Henry. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Here's Jackson. They set up the screen for Henry.
He's across midfield.
And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Jackson now. A short throw caught by Andrews. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides, and there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up.
The quick feet by Jackson. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. A really nice effort that time. 12 yards on the keeper, picking up the first.
Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
49 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Ball at the 6 here as they work with a 2nd and 2.
To throw is Jackson. Caught on the slant.
And the Ravens are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Henry is not going anywhere. He'll be hit and dropped for no gain at the 2-yard line.
Nothing at all on that one. It'll be second down. So stuffed from the 2. Now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action.
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
Throwing is Jackson.
Throw right side, going to be taken in by Henry.
Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
3rd and goal, Jackson. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown.
Lamar Jackson hooking up with Mark Andrews. And the Ravens have taken the lead. So this game tied at the half, but we are tied no more. A touchdown there on the opening sequence of this 3rd quarter.
And what a great drive put together by their offensive coordinator. He had a plan, and they executed it almost to perfection, coming right out of the locker room. Now they're feeling good about their chances here in the second half.
Tucker with the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14. So that drive spans 13 plays.
And it's Mark Andrews who finishes things off with a touchdown reception.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here.
They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Penix.
Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
And looking to throw, Penix. Throw out wide is incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. He'll look to throw.
Got this complete to the tight end Pitts.
And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
There's another example what defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They give up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a 4th down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time out, Charles. Remember, they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Play action. It's Jackson. He'll find Bateman once more. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
They keep it with Henry on 1st down. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It was Matt Judon that time who worked his way in to blow that play up.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. This one caught by his tight end, Andrews. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
They go play action with Jackson.
A short one there, caught by Likely.
And he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews.
Holding offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Jackson from the shotgun. A short throw caught by Andrews. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Atlanta. It's the Ravens in control of the football. They've also got the lead as we get set for the 4th. Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. Here's Jackson to throw. Working the oh no, he lost the football, and the Falcons grab it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden, they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the fourth, a costly turnover. Atlanta now coming out on the field.
And at this stage, in the fourth, they need to work this into the end zone. A field goal doesn't do much. We'll see if they can cash in following the fumble recovery. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson keeping it himself from 5 yards out.
And the Ravens have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this fourth quarter. Now, this defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number one.
It should be number one, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive.
And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Here's Penix. Got a man, it's London.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible. His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
They'll throw with Penix.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. And this offense on 3rd down today, they're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 10. Flush to his right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
The veteran Kyle Van Noy in there to drop him. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
Here's Bradley Pinion now. He's been terrific so far. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Ravens offense and Lamar Jackson set to take over once again. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. Aguilar in motion left. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And that is not fooling anyone. He never had a chance to turn the corner there, and they'll go backwards right away. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. Off the option, here's Henry. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge 4th quarter stop? Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure they only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You've got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
Holding offense.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Robinson up the middle.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
54 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
A first carry for Tyler Algier. And he'll be tackled at the 45 following a gain of just 2. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Now Penix. That's complete to Mooney.
And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
He's got his pass-catching tight end. That's Pitts.
And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-body tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Penix to the air once more. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Well, it would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
To the air, Penix. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
On the bootleg, it's Penix. He's got his target. That's complete.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. A gain of 12 on 4th and 10, just enough for the conversion. And defensively, an opportunity slips away.
So after the conversion on 4th, here's 1st and 10 just outside of the red zone. They'll try to throw again. Here's Penix.
His throw incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. He'll get this into the hands of Hodge. And he's going to have a gain of 11 to the 11 before he's brought down. 1st and 10.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage. Well, if you're going to give out a little applause on that play, it has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Penix.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown.
Kyle Pitts.
An 11-yard touchdown.
And the Falcons have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. And we may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that? Big-time drive right there. If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there, and they went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Ravens offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing but control the game offensively, put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them. I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Now it's Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and choose some clock with Henry. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
Here's a 2nd and 5. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
Falcons going to use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Third and 4.
And the busy night for Henry continues. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. So all eyes on the Falcons. Down by 7. 1:07 remaining. Needing to go pretty much the length of the football field as they have it 1st and 10. He's back to throw. Flushed out right.
Late in the game, he's certainly doing everything in his power to buy time for his guys to make a play, but in this case, he's surrounded, and all he has room to do is to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now.
Back to throw.
That is incomplete.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here.
Back to throw. And that will be incomplete as well.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down. They are going for it. Penix.
He's going to let it fly. And it's knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. So that one hurt. No timeouts left. Look at where the ball is on the field, Charles. I don't know if the fat lady's singing yet, but she's starting to hum a little bit, isn't she?
You think she's doing scales at this point? I don't think there's any doubt about it, but they had to go for it. In this situation, with their timeout situation as well, they had to take the chance, try and get it done. They didn't. Now they're powerless to stop them, essentially.
They need a big play somehow from their defense.
Down to a knee goes Jackson, and that should seal it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one.
What a finish in this one, Charles. You know, this group, they come in, they have to fight a hostile atmosphere every snap. They get the late score, they get the victory, and that flight home, it's going to be a little sweeter after this one.
And Brandon, just like you, I was fired up for that last sequence. How about that? Wouldn't you have loved to have been in the huddle when they were mounting that game-winning drive? big-time moment. No one shied away from it. They tuned out the crowd, kept their heads, and executed the way they needed to earn that win.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation